when so many local families are already experiencing food insecurity. A sobering new report, Feeding America says things just are getting worse.
Yeah, here in southwestern Pennsylvania, 1 in 3 Black residents and 1 in 5 Latino residents have made a choice between eating or paying their bills. Barry Pintar shows us where local families can get help.
Yeah, this is a bunk for one member of an entire family. As you can see, there are 4 bunks here at the Salvation Family Center here in East Liberty. This is where family comes if they need help. The rent, the utilities, the food. It just becomes too much. When it specifically comes to their food, it's a term known as food insecurity. You may not have heard of that term, but you've certainly heard of the fact that people just can't afford food anymore. And listen to this fact. It's actually worse in Pennsylvania than anywhere. In a recent study, Pennsylvania food prices have spiked higher and faster in the last 12 months than anywhere else in the entire country. This adorable little girl who asked to hold our microphone is here at the Salvation Army Family Center, along with her mom, MJ, who asked not to be on camera. What would you say to someone then who is like, I need to take that first step, but I just don't know if I can?
Do it immediately. It'll more than likely be the best thing. Don't be embarrassed about it. Don't feel worried. Just be, honestly, just don't worry about it. Just do it.
MJ hopes to open a daycare someday, but for now she needs help. The latest report by Feeding America says the need in southwestern Pennsylvania is greater than it's ever been in all demographics. The group seeing the greatest need, children, like this little one.
You have another Black mother who tells us she has to make the choice every month between purchasing groceries or paying her rent. And she feeds her family cereal for breakfast and for dinner.
Here at the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank, needs continue to rise as well. And all of these leaders of all of these agencies have a primary message for anyone suffering from food insecurity, and that is ask for help. Should someone feel shame because they have to ask for help?
No, not at all. Not at all. They do, because it affects our pride and why can't, or am I not good enough, right? Am I not good enough to provide for my family? Food insecurity is a bigger picture than me or you.
And that is the overwhelming advice. If you need to ask for help, ask for help. That's why these agencies exist. And we want to do our part as well. We have posted right on our website a list of agencies that are there to help you. It's from McGee Women's Hospital. It's not only Allegheny County, it's several counties. Please go ask for help. And as they said, don't feel shame. It's okay to need help every now and then.
A food insecurity crisis is growing as many South Florida families are finding it more and more difficult to put food on the table with higher grocery prices. Now the organizations that help people in need are finding they need help themselves. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten joins us live from the Feeding South Florida warehouse. That's in Pembroke Park. And Ted, what's causing this?
Well, Elliot, Feeding South Florida tells us that about 1 million people in South Florida, so from Palm Beach down to the Keys, have no idea where their next meal is coming from. But when you look at the shelves here in the warehouse, it may be a little bit misleading. It looks like there's plenty of food to go around, but actually in some key areas, donations are way down. We visited a food pantry in Key West. More people are joining the line for food at the SOS Food Pantry in Key West. Folks needing help putting food on the table. Had you ever needed food assistance before?
No.
So this is the first time you've needed food assistance. Claudine Weinman shops at the pantry. Even though she has a job, she still needs help feeding her family.
It's more expensive than everywhere else. Way more expensive than anywhere else that I've ever lived.
Already this year, compared to last, more than 1,700 additional people have signed up with SOS.
In Key Largo on Monday, we usually had about maybe 110. Now we're seeing about 150 every Monday. So the need is definitely increasing.
As the need is increasing, what's going on with the supply?
It's definitely decreasing.
Normally meat is available when families come in here for assistance, but you can see from this refrigerator here, it's empty.
There's usually meat, like we get pork chops, we get sometimes short ribs or whatever, you get a freezer item. But there was nothing today, no meats.
Yeah. How long has it been since you've had meat?
Probably a couple weeks.
Where we used to be able to provide people a full bag of groceries once a week, people are allowed to come to our pantry once a week. We just don't have enough food to do that anymore.
SOS CEO Tom Callahan says higher food prices are pushing more people into the pantry.
While at the same time, the amount of donations that we've been receiving from our traditional sources are drying up.
These distribution centers and manufacturers are being more efficient, which is great for business, but for us, we're having to go out and figure out how to bring in food.
Paco Vela is the CEO of Feeding South Florida. The organization helps supply food pantries like SOS. He said now they're trying to figure out new ways to keep the shelves stocked.
What we're doing as an organization is we're starting to go out and buy some of our own food so we can make sure that we have food here available for our partners as well as for families who come in to our pantry to shop.